this is Colette from Soul Life Living. I'm going to talk today about this, the lunar eclipse, because as it's doing that, the run up, I've noticed that the tides change. The prevailing wind changes direction. It goes in the opposite direction. The tides, I live near a shingle beach, so when the tides are coming in on high tide, chickens shingle everywhere, and then they're going right out, revealing the seabed of one of the Earth's oceans. I know we call it a sea. It's an ocean. It's a world ocean to me. I like to think the feel of my toes walking on a world ocean bed. It's just, and it doesn't happen often that the tide goes out and reveals the sand bed. It only goes out around a full moon. But if there's a lunar eclipse, it happens then, and it comes in. It's like the weather starts to change and become really disruptive. Like we've had hot sun but freezing wind because it's been northeasterly instead of southwesterly or southwest. So it's been absolutely freezing, but it's been boiling at the same time. So depending on where you're walking, you're in and out of into all of that. And it has this terrific pull on the water everywhere, in everything. Anything that has water is affected by a lunar eclipse. And it's astonishing that such a small thing in comparison to the sun has such a powerful effect on the planet that it just cannot be ignored. I mean, you cannot ignore it. It's the magnetic pull that it has. And so today has been really, really hot, but in the last few days it's been terrifically windy, like thrashing everything around, and it's been really hot in my studio. But when you step outside, it's that wind is a northeast, and it's bitingly cold. And I've been getting up a little bit earlier to go out for a walk, and the sky is different. It's pinky grey, pearlescent. And this morning it had almost been brushed and blended, so you couldn't see where it faded in and faded out, and it was all mixed in up against a bit of blue sky, early morning blue sky, and some white clouds. But I don't know how it does that. You know, this world is a magical place to live on. I don't understand why we keep trying to destroy it when it's a one and only. It's a 1 in a million planet, 1 in a billion planet, and it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful and it's so magical. And I don't understand why we can't celebrate that. I hope, you know, as the eons pass by, that people do get to enjoy it fully and totally, without the arseholes spoiling it. That would be nice. It would be a nice thought. But back to the moon, I digress. So the effect on me has been, I'm having to take in more water or liquid of some form. I like my water flavoured, non-alcoholic, but flavoured in some way. The tap water where I live is not the nicest flavoured, and it's heavy chemical, and you have to buy bottled water, or you have to add flavouring to make it taste nice. But and the effect on me has been that I've been really I'm topping up more water because I feel dehydrated and my skin feels dry, and that's kind of all part of it. As it's moved, it's kind of brought the past and what's been happening and what I've been doing and how I've been making myself a more balanced person, because it is front and centre, and it's pulled that in, and as it does that, it kind of pulls a future to it as well. And I'm looking, and I was looking a few days before and thinking, well, I have no idea what is going to change for me. I don't know what I should be doing more, as long as I'm not doing the weird things, and by that I mean people pleasing and saying yes when I should say no, and speaking my truth in a nice calm voice. I don't know what else to do, and it's just been, well, it's changing, and I feel like the chemicals and the cells in my body have been really affected by the magnetic pull as the past moved in and it eclipsed, and the after effects. And I find that like it's a week before and a week after, there's still the effects of it all before it settles back down, in the UK, to a wet and windy April, because we was meant to have April showers. And being a part of that, but it started to change. I felt me change. I felt that heaviness of trying to correct things, which, has been said to me, oh, you do too much introverted thinking. Of course I do. I don't do too much. I find if I don't do enough, everything goes tits up. And if I do enough, then it doesn't. And I learn. Whereas if I'm not, then I don't learn, and it all goes tits up, and then I don't know why, and I have to keep backtracking, and I'm tired of backtracking. So, up to now, I was wondering what was going on, and then it started all to change. And I've had some of the most beautiful days, beautiful and peaceful days. And I spent, I think, about 2 hours lying on the sofa in the studio, and I was just listening to bird songs and all the different bird songs that there are around here, and the traffic rumbling by, the odd siren, a lovely biplane going over, which I adore. Every now and then, maybe once a day, a helicopter wumping its way over the top, which my shed kind of like echoes and bounces in my ears. But all of it has been beautiful, and because my friend said, oh, you really need to sit in silence to do this, and I'm thinking, there isn't any silence. The birds are going at it. There's other noises going at it. When people say sit in silence, what they mean is don't have your TV on, and don't have your phone yammering at you or playing music or anything. But they don't mean silence as in no sound. But there's something really peaceful and centering and rooting, listening to the birds and the general sounds around, even though that includes people and crying babies and all the rest of it. It's still a really beautiful thing. when you're not moving and you're awake and you're just listening, and you can dream. And so, you know, coming up in your thoughts, in my thoughts, I mean, are downloads and things they want me to think about, a thing that Spirit needs me to take on board so I can keep moving forward. Because that's the plan, is to always be moving forward within my own spirit. Because if Spirit's moving forward, I kind of go along in a much calmer and more understanding and less judgmental way. Because I don't want to fall into that trap, because judgment's a comparison thing, and it never comes to good. So I'm going to leave this here, and I hope you have a lovely April. And I'm going to go because it's 11 on the clock. Oh.